Hello everybody, this is Mr. Lopez and I'm just going to go over game day. How the heck do I play this piece, a woodwind and brass rhythm study. Game day is a medley I created of several pieces for the Somerset Patriots game a few years ago, and since then we've played it quite a few times. So I hope you enjoy Crazy Train, Louie Louie, 25 or 64, Iron Man, and the Hey Song. Please take time to YouTube each of these songs so you can hear how they really go for yourself. Now, the explanation for this. You're going to notice on the screen we're looking at the alto saxophone part, but have no fear. Your part is exactly the same rhythmically. Your notes may be different, but your rhythms are exactly the same. So my goal after you watching this a few times is that you'll recognize that the rhythms on the screen are exactly the same as the rhythms on your paper, and you can just transfer the counting to your part. As always, if you have any questions, please email me at any time. The first song we're going to work on is measures 1 through 9 of Crazy Train. Crazy Train starts with eighth notes and is all eighth notes. 1 and 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2, 3 and 4. I'm going to play it for you now. 1, 2, ready, and 2, 3, 4. And that was measure 1 and 2. You're going to notice the 1 and is on the eighth notes. You could clap it. 1 and 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 1 and 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 1 and 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 1 and 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 1. I'll play the first few measures for you one more time. 1, 2, ready, and 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, measure 4. Okay, so that leads us right into measure 4. All right, so if you have any questions about this, please let me know. Remember, the and sign, the plus sign means and when you're counting rhythms. Any questions? Shoot me an email. Next, we have Louie Louie by Richard Berry. This is probably the most challenging song in here because if you look down bottom, right here, you'll see we have this symbol. This is an eighth rest. It's equal to 1/8 note. When you were in first and second grade, we called eighth notes TTs, right? Now that we're in more advanced levels, it's going to be 1 and 2, 3 and 4. When I count this one, I kind of whisper on beat 3. I'll go 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 1 and 2, 3 and 4. The only rest you have is on beat 3, and you're right back in on the and of beat 3. So here's Louie Louie. 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. And you could hear I'm vocalizing actually the 3. You could also do it clapping. 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 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 and so on. It's not as hard as you think as long as you can get that 3 said on the eighth note. And after you do that a few times, you won't have to say it anymore. It'll just fit right in. Now, a new note. In the next song, 25 or 64, and the Hey song, you will have a new note. Here's how to finger your new note. Flutes, you'll use your thumb, then your first, second, third, fourth, fifth fingers, and the pinky. The only finger you're not using is the right ring finger. Clarinets, the F sharp is just like an E, but you take your thumb off. Saxophones, the easiest. C sharp, no fingers at all, but keep your fingers close to the keys. Tenor saxes, F sharp, it's going to be a G with the octave key, and then your middle finger down bottom. So 1, 2, 3, 5 in the octave key. Trumpets, F sharp is second valve. French horn, B natural second valve. Baritone, E natural second valve. And trombone, E natural second position, which is just outside of first position. All right, so get ready. Here's the next tune. Now, 25 or 64, the rhythm is very, very easy. When we were beginners, we would say T, 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 ta, rest, T, 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 ta, rest, T, 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 ta, rest, T, 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 T. But since we're a little more advanced now, we're going to count it correctly. 1 and 2 and 3, rest on 4. Then 1 and 2 and 3, rest on 4. And it repeats again here. And 23 is probably the easiest measure 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. But here's the trick. Measure 22, you get that new note we talked about. You get that new note. But 23 goes back to the old note. So for instance, sax is here, have a C sharp in 22, then it goes back to regular C. For flutes, it would be your E natural, then back to E flat. For clarinets, it would be your F sharp, and then back to F natural. For trumpets, the same thing, F sharp to F natural. For French horns, it would be B back to B flat here, okay? So I'm going to play this for you. 1, 2, use your tongue. And the one thing you'll notice, every time you rest in this measure, you always rest on beat 4. Most importantly, make sure you're starting each note with your tongue. And that is 25 or 6-4. Then we have a lot of people's favorite, Iron Man. Starts on that low note. If you have trouble with the fingering, just look it up on your fingering chart. But the counting for this one is pretty easy. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. The biggest problem most people have is rushing measure 31. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. I'll play measure 31. 2, ready, and. You don't want to rush it, especially those flutes tend to move that pinky a little too fast. I'll play 31 again. All right, so that's what measure 31 will sound like. So here we go. Here's Iron Man. 1, 2, ready, and. And that's the first 4 measures, which is exactly the same as the last 4 measures. If you have any questions with that, shoot me an email. Finally, the last song in the group is the Hey Song by Gary Glitter. You can find it on YouTube under the Hey Song or Rock and Roll Part 2. We're just playing the starting theme to it. This one has lots of stuff in it, but let's just review a few things. Remember, dotted half notes get 3 beats. 1, 2, 3, then beat 4, right? 1, 2, 3, then beat 4. Here, I put these in parentheses because these are all one note. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Because a whole note tied to a half note gets 6 beats. Okay. Here's 3, 4. Then we're back to our dotted half notes. Dotted half notes. Then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we have this whole note here, the new note. Remember the one we just worked on in 25 or 64? It's a whole note tied to a dotted half note. That's going to be 7 beats. You're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. You're going to want to take a breath real quick right here for ta, 1, 2, and 3. Hey happens on beat 4. I know there's no rest there, but I put just the hey there to signify when you're going to speak. So I'm going to play the Hey Song for you. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, and. Hey. Hey, rest. Hey, rest. You'll notice in measure 51, I did play a wrong note on beat 3, but I'm not going to go back and re-record this whole thing. So you can all just deal with that. Now you'll notice on this copy there's lots of scribbles and sketches all over. This is from the photocopying, so pay no mind to these little ghost marks all over. All right. I hope this helped a little bit really try to take a look at the counting so you make sure you're counting this piece correctly. We don't want to be saying tas and titis anymore. When we're counting the hay section and measure 51, 1, 2, and 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, then we're over here to 1. So that is the end of our little demo. I hope this helped. Again, if you have any questions or concerns, please let me know as soon as possible. Happy practicing, and I'll talk to you soon.